So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Planets Through Ascendant series of the week. And this week, we're going to be covering Moon in the 11th house in Scorpio for Capricorn Ascendant people. And what happens when Moon is in the 11th house in the sign of Scorpio while it rules the 7th house with the sign of Cancer. And as always, if you do not know if you have this particular placement, you know, or what nakshatra it's in and what sign your other planets are, along with all your astrological details for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, consultations, and link to my academy, Magavedic Astrology Academy, where I'm going to be putting a new video on if you should or shouldn't be, wearing and purchasing old clothes and jewelry. So anyway, let's start with our moon video. So with this particular position, the first thing that we see is that a person tends to get a very intense spouse. Very intense spouse. Somebody who wants to lay down the rules, regulations, and policies within the marriage. And depending upon the degree of the, moon, we also see that such a person themselves and will experience things related to seduction, seducing of a third party spouse. And especially early in life, and this is probably, I would say, before 32, you will really attract people who will have issues with substance and alcohol. On the other hand, this is also the position. See, Scorpio is a tamasic sign, which nothing to do with good or bad. Okay, forget all that garbage of sattva being the very good and tamas being the very bad, because you cannot reach sattva without tamas. Remember that. But the thing is, tamas is like that color black. Okay, it's the color of, and what happens is that, or like that energy of Kali. And what happens is that such an individual becomes extremely intense about fulfilling their desires. And I'm talking about especially the person you attract. But on the same level, this is one of those peculiar positions where wherever the moon is, it's going to represent your spouse and you both. And so you both become financially very intense. Like for you, wanting to have or wanting to conquer that tamas quality becomes extremely important. Like such an individual will not only be like that, they will only want to attract such people who are very money and finance oriented, stability oriented. You see, tamas is not really like destruction and bad and murder and killing. Tamas is about keeping something together. Because if our body was not tamas, we first of all wouldn't even be here. It would never form in such a dynamic way where there would be a skeletal structure, muscles, a cage to hold all the major organs, brain. This is tamas. You can, again, and then you want to reach sattva, enlightenment. How are you going to reach that without having the proper body parts? You need the spine. You need spine and the breathing through the spine in order to kind of do the countdown like a rocket goes up, right? 10, 9, 8, 7. So it's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom. You can easily go to a completely different place that you can even fathom. So these people are very intense towards that. Now, again, if moon is at a certain degree, between certain degrees, then this person will desire to experience mystical things through the spouse, mystical things through the marriage. Like you will see such a person visiting all kinds of yogis and tantrics in India or worldwide and just wanting to learn something from them. And it also shows this particular moon also becomes an omen And you will notice this, especially if you're in your 30s. Whenever some plumbing issue happened in your home, whenever some flooding occurred in your home, suddenly relationship came in your life. Suddenly some dating opportunity came in your life. And depending upon what planet is in the seventh house or aspects the moon or around the moon, plumbing issues will also cause major psychological breakdown of the relationship. Meaning there'll be these psychological fights between, the person and their spouse. So it's a this is a very delicate situation. But in my experience, I have seen less people who are wanting to have a career in spirituality and even in astrology. They're more about the marketplace. They're more about how do I attain that status, that wealth. The one thing they have to be careful of is gambling. Gambling will always get them in trouble. Too much into, you know, winning that thing, wanting to have that financial hand win, like that winning something in auction, they suddenly something rises within them. They love that high, that chase. And usually they will also may not be the best parent, you know, as far as raising children. Unless of course there's an aspect of Jupiter. But the mind will be so caught up in the workplace that they will not pay so much attention to what's going on with the children. And especially like even in the last 2 months, you know, because a lot of people are like this is the mentality of this person. Let me dump everything into the market and have twice as much. That's not a very smart, logical mentality to have. Diversity is the way to go. But again, this is a person and their partner are so intense that they are like, if you don't have the guts to do this, I have the guts to do this. I'm going to do it. So if I have $5,000 in my bank, I'm going to put it all into the cryptocurrency, or I'm going to put it on, in some stock. So again, I mean, this is the type of wave that you have to ride yourself and through the marriage. But again, I mean, this can give a lot of wealth. This particular placement, don't think this is a debilitated moon. And yeah, it has this debilitated, angles. But again, that tamas, you need the tamas for wealth. Remember, people always focus on third eye chakra and the central heart chakra, and that's all they want to activate. And you don't realize, if you want the money, you want the wealth, activate the root chakra and the solar plex. Those are the most important for sustenance, wealth, money, treasure. And this is where that moon is very strong. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of moon in the 11th house for Capricorn ascendant people. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your moon is placed, all your astrological details for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow or the day after. Bye-bye.